Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jada Blossom, and I am here with a project for the December 2024 release hop. So I'm using Jada Blossom's new Gnome Friends Penguin dies, the Penguin Kisses stamp set, their Snow Globe dies, their Border dies 2, and the Tinsel Time 6-inch paper pack from Doodlebug. And I'm using Gingerbread Kisses. And then I put these little guys together on the assembly video for those, so check that out. So first I have a piece of Paper Trank white cardstock cut at 4.25 by 11, scored at 5.5 inches with my Martha Stewart scoreboard and my Teflon bone folder. There we go. Working on a Stampin' Up! Pad. All my die cutting today was done with my Anna Griffin Empress machine. So next I have a piece of paper from that Doodlebug Tinsel Time, and that's cut at 1/8 of an inch smaller than an A2 size card front. And I'm using my ATG tape, and I'll add that to my card front. There we go with ATG tape, and I kind of made a mess of it, but I grabbed a piece of black to put underneath it because I want to see my white border. I'm getting blind in my old age, and I want to make sure that that border is even all the way around, so I'm just lining it up. I'm actually standing up while I do this. I'm going to do it again. See, this is what I mean. Leanna's blind these days, so I'm just going to line that up. There we go, and now we're in business. Now on the inside, I'm going to add a strip of paper from that same, 6-inch pad, actually the other side of that paper that I just used. There we are. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I thought I used the other side. Just an inch, and then I will cut off the overhang with a pair of scissors. And I tend to use it, I tend to put it about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. That's an adhesive eraser. Those are your best friends when you're card making. And there we go. So I'm using the odds and ends Let It Snow, and there's this cute little snow globe in that odds and ends set from Doodlebug. And I'm just going to pop that on the inside because it has, it has a snow globe and it has a penguin. It's perfect, right? I tried to match the outside to the inside a bit. I'm going to trim off the overhang with a pair of scissors. I just used some Barely Art glue for that. And now I'm taking a Secure White Jelly Roll pen and a number 10 and adding a few little highlights. Like I always do. Nothing special. But, for fun. I find it adds a little something to these guys. Better than leaving them plain. And then I'm using my Secura black glaze pen to add some little black dots to their eyes. So their eyes will be shiny and kind of raised. And there we go. Next, I'm going to stamp onto the little label that goes on the front of the snow globe. That's Paper Trank white cardstock. And I'm using my Misty. And I'm going to stamp Penguin Kisses. I love when Jada Blossom does these little sentiments that say something kisses. I just think they're so cute. So I'm going to stamp that on the center roughly of that tag if I can get it lined up. My little waffle flower grip mat that I have in my Misty, I need to wash that, but I keep forgetting. So I'm using VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink, and I'm just going to stamp that carefully. Remember, don't press too hard. But I got a really good image. So there we are. And now on the inside, I'm going to stamp my card. I'm using a Misty Corner to get things lined up. And I'm just going to stamp the sentiment. It's penguining to look a lot like Christmas. I really like that sentiment. And I'm going to stamp that in the same VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink. Remember, it does take a bit to dry. Just be aware you can smudge it. And there we go. And look how perfect that is. Okay, so now I'm going to put together my globe. So I cut the globe out of Paper Trank white cardstock and then again out of pattern paper from that Tinsel Time 6-inch pad from Doodlebug. Remember, you don't have to use the same paper as me. Doodlebug releases Christmas paper every year. They have since, I think, the beginning of time. Pull out one of your other Doodlebug Christmas sets and go to town, right? They always have a dot. They always have a stripe. You know what I mean? They tend to have certain things all the time. Now, you saw that I weighted that down once I lined it up. Next, I have the base circle cut out of Paper Tray ink white cardstock. And then I'm going to add this little edge that was cut out of, it's called Die Cuts with a View, and it's it's the glitter matte stack, and it's kind of like a gray glitter. And I just kind of like the look of that for the edge of a snow globe. So next I'm going to fill in the center with some Barely Art glue, and then I will add on this pattern paper from that Tinsel Time 6-inch pad from Doodlebug again, and I do weight it down. There we go. So I have the base of, or the whole background of my snow globe cut out of paper tray white cardstock again. So all these layers are going to make your card pretty thick, but I kind of like that look. It gives it some dimension without using like a dimensional, like a foam dot or something like that. So I'm just going to be sticking down this layer onto that base, or the main layer of my snow globe, just so everything's nice and lined up, using my reverse tweezers. Just going to get it in place, trying to make sure it's all lined up. There we go. Now I did cut the snow out of the center circle, and then I used that border from the Border Dies too, and I cut out some white glitter cardstock from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm going to put that in the bottom of my snow globe. And I do weight it down with an acrylic block. Next, I'm going to add on the base of my snow globe. And I'm using, you see, some ATG tape. And a little bit of glue around the edges that I couldn't get my ATG tape into. So I want it to stay nice and flat. Using my reverse tweezers again to layer up this super cute snow globe. I love mixing patterns. Doodlebug is great for this because, if you pull out one of their pads, you're in business. Everything's already made to go together. Okay, so next I'm going to pop my snow globe on that busy background. So the nice thing is if you keep your snow globe relatively, not too busy, your background can still be busy and it'll pop, right? And that's what I was going for. So, and the background's got a bit of kind of like a shine because it has like a silver background to it. It's very nice. So next I'm going to add my snow globe, and you can see that background is, it's not taking over the card anymore because we have our snow globe in the center. Next, we are going to stick down my sentiment onto my snow globe, and I'm using that same Barely Art glue and my reverse tweezers, and I'll pop that in the center. And then you'll see I kind of have my penguins in my little snow globe where I want them to go. There we go, and I do weight it down. Okay, so next I'm going to glue down my adorable little penguins. Remember, there's an assembly video for those Gnome Friends penguin dies. Check that out. Everything that I used for making these guys will be listed in my blog post today, but also is listed under that assembly video. So check that out. So I'm sticking down my super cute little penguin, and then I'm adding on my other little baby penguin beside him. And isn't that cute? Just adorable stuff. You just gotta love these guys. They are literally the cutest little penguins ever and really easy to make. Next, I'm going to be grabbing these puffy stickers. What are they called? Sorry, guys. The puffy icon stickers from Tinsel Time. And I'm going to add these little circles to the inside of those, of the little, little holes in my little label. Make it look like I've got some brads there, which I actually thought of using because, I still have brads from back in the day. Next, I'm giving these little penguins some candy canes to hold. You'll see that I'll have the big one will be holding a little candy cane, and then I'm going to pop up the little flipper to be holding it, the tip of the flipper, you can see. You'll see that I did ink around the edges of those penguins with some white pigment ink from Hero Arts. I think it's called Unicorn. It's just basically to, add a little definition when you have two black things laying on top of each other because they kind of blend in and turn into a blob. right? So there we go. Now I'm going to add a few more or another one of these little candy canes, but my other little guy is going to be sort of holding it. Isn't that cute? And then I'm going to add on a little heart onto this guy's little scarf, because why not? And I think that's looking super cute so far. Okay, so next I'm grabbing the brand new winter embellishment cluster dies, and I'm going to add some of these snowflakes, and these were cut from Simon Says Stamp white glitter cardstock. There's 3 different sizes, and I thought they'd be perfect for this little snow globe. Adds a little bit of glitter without being too busy, right? So I'm just trying to get them where I want them, and then I'm going to be using my Barely Art glue to kind of stick them down in place. And I'm just going to use my tip to sort of get them where I want them. And then we will add on all the other super cute little snowflakes, right? Aren't they? They're just the sweetest. There we are. That's the great thing about these embellishment sets, 3 different sizes, and you can make your own embellishments. So there we go. So thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to hop on over to the Jada Blossom blog, be inspired by the team, the Jada Blossom store, to get your hands on these amazing products, and make sure you get hopping, everybody. Bye.